Scott again. In this episode, I'm finishing up the trailer, and I'm going to be putting it back together, finishing up a little bit here and there, and then I'm going to be dropping the boat back on the trailer. That was kind of interesting. I wish I could say that it was less thud and more just like gently dropping on, and but it wasn't. I guess that's what I did wrong, was using ratchet straps. As soon as I released the ratchet straps, it goes boom. Well, it wasn't a horrible crash, but it was kind of scary. You'll see that near the end of the video. So just keep watching, and and thank you very much. Now, when I'm done with that, we'll see what's going on with the next step. Okay. Hey, I am back. I am working on this a little bit more today. As you can see, I got this side pretty much done and it's reassembled. I started putting everything back together. Put the fender back on. Painted the hub black. Put the new tire and wheel on it. Got the shocks painted and they're installed. I got the license plate and the tail lights back on. And then I got over to this side. I got the shock absorber on this side. And then I put the fender back on, and that's when I noticed those runs. Yuck. Crap. They're not dry enough right now to sand them and reshoot them, so I'm going to let them dry overnight. I'm going to use the big piece of cardboard. Let me see if I can back up a little farther. If you can see the big piece of cardboard here. That way I don't have to take everything back off. I'll just reshoot it right there. This fender's not perfect by any sense. You can see it's kind of all kind of rough back here. That's because it was caved in. It was a big dent shoved all the way in almost to the tire. I banged it out some and straightened it out a little bit. It won't be perfect, but it'll work for this deal. I untaped the tail. You can see there's the side marker lamp that I put on a while back when I rewired it, and then the rollers are all untaped. Now I also decided to paint the wheel on the spare tire, and the reason being is that let me get over here, is that it would, had some spot rust here and there. I just put one single coating on it right now. I'm actually doing both sides of it, as you hear. Let me see, painting both sides of it because both sides are visible. And then I'm redoing the winch tower because it was full of runs. It was terrible. And so it's hard to see because my fluorescent light above where I'm working croaked. So I sanded it back down and reshot it. It had been re-welded. It had been cut up and welded. As you can see, that kind of deal thing going there. At one point, somebody modified it for some reason. I have no idea why. I think there was a different boat on this trailer originally. They also moved the axle back on the trailer as well. And I ground down. There was all kinds of booger welding going on around here. I grinded all that off before I just started painting. But it's not gorgeous. This is where the winch mounts. And that's got a couple of runs on it, but I don't care because the winch mount's is gonna cover that all up. So I still need to reassemble the winch, and tomorrow I'm gonna do the bunks. I'm gonna sand all that down and then tape all of those wheels. So much fun. Well, she's 99% back together. I only have a couple of things left to do. I can see I got the bunks painted and they're bolted back on today. Had nice warm and dry air, so they dried really fast in the paint. And then up front, got the winch tower all back together with the spare tire mount. Painted the wheel on the spare tire. The winch was kind of a puzzle piece to put back together. And you can see I had to paint both sides. This is why I painted both sides of the wheel, because it is visible. And I painted the bracket and the hub for the spare tire mount black. Now this is the bow bracket, and they had these pads sitting there like this, so you can see it better this way. And they sit in there like this in a V, and then the V part of the bow goes up in there. These are old and hard as rock. So far I've having trouble finding those, so I'm going to keep looking. And I'm going to run down to my local marine store tomorrow. And then I'm going to probably replace the cable. The cable's $25. The cable itself is really good shape. It's just a cover, a coating on it. It's like literally like I caught on fire or something. I don't know. Anyhow, need to do for the boat trailer before putting the boat back on it is replace these where the rollers go here. It's a 3-piece setup, and let me show you. So it had these 1/2-inch shafts, right? These 1/2-inch shafts, and it went. Where's the original one? There's like this one. So like that, like that, and like that. What am I doing? I got the camera on there, like so. See? And then this sat in here like so. Though I don't know how it did it without this end falling off, because the hole drilled for a roll pin is there, which makes no sense at all. So how did this not fall off? When I got this, this end was not on the other side. Didn't have this end on it. It had one made out of wood, and it was pressed onto the shaft, and then it split apart the second I took the weight of the boat off of it. Now the other side had an extra hole drilled in it at the end, and the roll pin with a washer was like through like that, which makes more sense. So I went to, and these are all, I suppose I could reuse these, but they're hard as rock. I mean, so what I did is I went to the Trailer Parts Superstore online. It looks like they're in Newark, Delaware, and they have a ton of parts for trailers. And they had new versions of these. This is a Yates 220-4, and I couldn't get these at my local marine dealer. So I got 4 of these. They were like $2 a piece, but in order to put a washer and a roll pin at the end of this, shaft, it won't work in a cup like that. So what I did is I took 2 of them and I cut these off, and so they end up looking like that. So a washer and a roll pin will work just fine. Now, the other thing I had is they didn't have the center bearings or bushings or whatever the hell they're called, but they did have one that was like 9 inches long, and these are for like the side posts, so trailers that have like a post running up the side here to guide the boat on, so you don't go off one side or the other of the trailer. That's what that's for. And that's exactly what these are for. These are supposed to be at the top and the bottom of those shafts too. But I bought this, it's 9 inches long, and I just cut it into the 3 sections that I needed to match the length of this. So you can see, there we go. So I cut it. And I just used a hacksaw on my cord, like there, hacksaw on my cordless Craftsman Sawzall. Now I'm going to put it all together. I'm going to drill a hole in this one to match the same size. Drill a hole in this other one here to match that one. I'm going to drill a hole in this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a drill bit that fits perfectly inside that hole. And then I'm just going to take the roll pin, which I dropped. It's probably lying here underneath this mess. I got to clean this workbench up. It's a disaster. I'm going to take my roll pin over and get another one. I think it's the same size as a regular small block Chevy roll pin, which I got several lying around. I might double check that. Oh, here's the roll pin. So there is the roll pin. And it fits right in there. See, it fits in there. Like so. And it also fits in here. So. And it looks like the same size as one it's used for like a small block Chevy distributor to hold the distributor gear on. Maybe it's a small block, I don't know. But it's like a distributor gear roll pin. But roll pins this size are simple to get at most hardware stores. Like True Value or Ace. I have both in town, luckily. So we'll see what happens. So I went down to the hardware store and I got a couple of roll pins. A little bit longer. Like a 1/4 inch longer. So this is a 3/4 inch and this is a 1 inch. And these are the pieces that I'm going to be using. Excuse me, that's my... and I'm going to put a little bit of grease on it. I'm going to put grease on the shaft. Because these are 1/2 inch ID or inside diameter. And this is a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to grease these up a little bit so when I put them on, it'll roll very easily. And here's what the other one I've already put on. You can see I got the roll pin in and how they roll. You can hear the grease kind of rolling on there. And how they, when the boat goes on, it'll hit these in whatever angle it needs. It'll like it. And it'll just flip. Now I just got to put the other one on the other side. So, got them both on. So now I can put the boat back on the trailer. Well, this is the original transom hook. You know, the people use ratchet straps nowadays, but this is what the original transom hook looked like. It just went over the transom, and then you tighten it up by flipping this up. And the rope was originally tied just to the trailer. And I replaced the rope. I'm going to probably get ratchet straps for it just to be on the safe side. I'm going to put hooks here in the back of the trailer. And that way it's... and then I'll just use ratchet straps. But I wanted to keep this just for looks. This loop here is designed for a transom saver. It's a rod that goes in here and it holds up the back of your the lower part of your engine when it's tilted forward, and it helps basically keep the weight of the engine from bouncing on the transom and just destroying it over several years. That one, the rod is actually inside the boat right now. I'll show it to you when I get the boat back on it and I'm bringing the boat back over here. She is all put back together, ready to go back on the trailer. I mean underneath the boat. Ready to drop that boat back on it. And the hard part, I don't know how far up the boat goes. Go all the way. Well, we can haul it up with this.
Yeah, we could crank it forward, or maybe even just push it forward.
Yeah. Well, no, we end up pushing the whole trailer. Okay. So. Well, the heaviest part of the boat is up front because of the glass windshield. So we want to let it down first. Just I just want to try to let it down nice and slow. Okay.
So much rise and slow.
Yeah. Kind of half expected this. I didn't really think about it too much. What?
That shows, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of scary, ain't it?
Well, it doesn't have
Oh,
far-
wait. Crap.
It doesn't have far to drop, I guess.
No. Well, trailer's not centered back here.
Yeah, you need to go.
We need to go, let's go a bit, pull the trailer a little bit forward, about 3 inches. There.
Yep.
There. Otherwise, the boat was gonna land right on top of the
Gotcha.
rollers were gonna be right on top of the, yeah, still gotta get the trailer over this way.
Yeah, you're
All right. That's
pretty much lined up on the front here, so.
Okay. Hang the transom left there. Okay, I'm gonna set the back down.
Yep.
I didn't want to lift it high off the trailer, so I wouldn't have a whole lot farther down.
Right.
Okay. Does it need to go? Does it need to go this way a little bit? Now, that. What I don't want to do is have these end up being pinched between the trailer and the
Yeah, you'll never
boat.
know how to do it.
So,
I'll just try to
well, just
keep the.
step to the side. I just for a minute. You're blocking the camera.
Oh, sorry. My largeness out of the way here. Oh, baby.
Let me get my clothes on. My hands are getting cold. He thinks boat just weigh like 5,000
No
pounds.
kidding, and it's a good thing that you don't have to drop it very far.
No, well, that was one of the things. I didn't want to have it all the way up against the ceiling.
Right.
I just wanted it high enough to
It goes up, must come down, just not that fast.
well, I'm glad it's going down slow.
Well, yeah, that should.
I'm just glad it did go boom right out of the trailer.
Yeah, that would not have been good.
Okay.
I was looking on the back side here.
Ah, fudge. I gotta lift it up on the back a little bit. This ratchet strap is sitting on one of the bump rollers.
Yeah.
Slide it back a little bit. Look, a spider's already made a web on my boat trailer. Fucking.
They work quick, don't they?
Yeah. There. Okay. And there's bird crap all over the floor. I don't even know. Do I have a bird's nest up there? Do you see a bird's nest up there?
Not from where I'm standing. I'm guessing there's gotta be one up there somewhere.
There's a giant wasp nest up here.
Yeah, they're probably
Up in
hiding
that
there.
corner. I think I may have taken it down. But, it back. And it's not really down, it's just that it's weird.
Let's hold it up. You're
Um,
not on the rollers yet.
I got one that's sitting on one roller. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah.
And just not where she needs to be. Crank her forward and you're good to go.
We roll this one up. Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, she's not all the way on the boat. Oh, that's lovely.
Okay, good.
Yeah, look where it hooked.
Good, bad, or otherwise.
No. Why don't we hook up the, I'm going to hook up the ratchet to it right now. See where that one got hooked?
Oh, yeah.
So once I get the boat all the way on the trailer, I'm going to have to get up on the boat.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
So it looks like it's lovely for the most part.
It's not sitting on that bunk over there. See?
It's not. Getting closer. That's so bizarre. You know what I'm wondering is, does your tower need to go further afield?
I don't know. I loosely bolted it on.
I remember you saying that.
Based on the shadow.
Gotcha.
I remember there was a shadow here, but you know, I didn't
Well,
mark
the reason
it.
I ask is because you're not on.
I
you're
go
not on this one here at all. So,
Well, no. Well, let me there. Yeah, I think the boat needs to come on to the trailer farther. I didn't bring my wrench itself. Okay. Well, she's back on the trailer at least. Ow!
Watch it first go.
My dad got me 3 times in the same shin in one night. Okay. Well, look how that works.
Oh, nice.
That's working fantastic.
Perfect. Yeah, I was gonna say, that's for that. That's just exactly where you want it.
Yeah. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to slide the whole tower forward in order to get it sitting more on the bunks back here.
Yeah, you're about on that rail back there on the.
Yeah.
Just like you said, the boat needs to come further forward.
Yeah, I think it just needs about like a couple inches is all. But it was never supposed to sit on this roller here.
Oh, okay.
It's just supposed to have a roller to go to until this hits that.
Yeah, when you lift up that part of the trailer, I guess that's what we're getting.
Nice. All right, now that the boat's back on the trailer safely, and I didn't break it, I didn't break the boat, I didn't break the trailer, I didn't break myself, I'm going to bring the trailer back over to the garage here, and then I am going to start working on it, the boat itself. So, and I'm probably going to have fiberglass and dust all over my brand new trailer, but hey, keep watching. Thank you again, and let me know if you have any ideas, comments, questions, whatever. Feel free, hit like if you like the video. Subscribe if you want to follow along. Say I'm going to be doing some work on this truck too as well. I have a video coming up with this, and then I'll probably have some work done on my 65 Impala, which you probably saw in the last video. If you watched the last video, part 1, you actually saw my 65 Impala. So keep watching, and you'll see more of that car as I put it back together. It has it's going to have a turboed small block in it eventually, stick shift, and I'm probably just going to put the engine in, but we'll see what happens. And keep watching. Thank you very much.